Well, happy Saturday, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Hopefully your day is off to a good start. I know we're having some fun here. A little bit rainy this morning here in the mid-Michigan area. I know we had a good storm go through early in the AM, but I don't know if it's clearing up or not. I've got to look at radar again, but you're not here for the weather forecasts, are you? Probably not. It's a couple of good mornings here to say. Jeff, good morning. Yep, Dazed and Confused. Jeff, we're going to talk about that. It's a great album. I'm glad you are enjoying it. And Pat is saying good morning from Breckenridge, out and about today as well. Let me get one more thing kicking in here. There we go. Okay, so busy week here at the Wasteland. We have come 1 week post Record Store Day drop 2, and that's it. There's no third drop. I couldn't handle another one if we had to until Black Friday, that is. I know a lot of you had some fun with these 2 drops. Just as a quick behind the scenes, I got a message, group email from the Record Store Day organization, and they are conducting a survey of record stores to find out how we did with the not only this year's drops, but the 2020 drops. I think now that things are getting back to normal, they're trying to make some decisions as far as where they're going to go in the future with Record Store Day events. So if you have an opinion, please, by all means, let me know what you think of the drop system, because it sounds like, at least to me, it sounds like the Record Store Day people are trying to make up their minds whether or not they want to keep the 2 times a year system they've got, one in April and one in November for Black Friday, or if they want to go to some sort of different system close to what we've had with the drops in 2020 and 2021. Personally speaking, I'm not certain where I sit on that yet. I know that in 2020 especially, the drops had some merit because of, well, as far as what 2020 was, for everyone. 2021, at least for us, picked up and things were a lot better than the previous year. But in 2020, I understand that they really didn't have much of a choice. They had all the product, they had it ready to go. That March and April, right in through there, is when all of the crap started hitting the bladed wind machine, if you will. So that I understood, breaking up into the 3 drops. 2020 was just a hot mess all around for that. But in 2021, I understand also they moved it and they did it with those 2. But again, the survey now kind of makes it seem as if they're trying to decide whether or not to keep their system. And again, personally speaking, I don't really know. The drops were good, but I really kind of miss the days of, one big event in April. Whether or not it's April or not is up in the air. I mean, it could be June, but I think that the reason for that is by the time June comes around, folks are starting into their summer vacations. And again, by next year, I think that should be mostly back to normal. So I don't know. I personally think that maybe the once a year in April and then the Black Friday event is the way to go. But I would like to hear from you guys. If you have a chance, you can comment right now, but again, these comments disappear after the live stream ends on YouTube, but they'll stay on Facebook. But feel free to comment on YouTube after the fact or on Facebook. Let me know your thoughts. I will answer that survey probably on Monday or Tuesday in our downtime and see where we take it from there. Speaking of YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We are creeping up on, getting close to 500 subscriptions, which I think is pretty darn cool. And we got to keep that up. So if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Chuck says hello. Good morning, Chuck, as well as Alicia saying good morning. Thank you for being here. Storms up in the UP. Nasty storms. So we will talk again later about that. Okay, so that's that Record Store Day news. Let me know what you think. I will kind of continue to work on my opinion, and we'll go from there. Quick update also on Blue, the dock jumping record store dog. Weather permitting, Kim and Blue are down in the town of Ionia today, kind of down, even further down from the Lansing area for the Ionia Free Fair. They've got a couple of dog jumping events going on. It started yesterday, and Blue is hopefully continuing well today. Again, weather permitting down there. Blue, well, she's a machine. She'll go just about it in anything if you want her to. So if you're curious about what that's all about, visit or look for Blue, the Dock Jumping Record Store Dog, on Facebook for updates on our wonderful mascot. Speaking of mascots, because they're down there, the Dude, our other big dog who doesn't quite jump like that, is hanging out with me at the store today. If you want to come by and say hi to the Dude. Right now, he's currently abiding on his bed and probably will do so throughout the day. Good morning on West Michigan side from Rick. I did get your messages, Rick. Things have just been a little crazy. I'll get back to you very soon on that. Okay, I've got an announcement coming up, but in the true nature of the tease that I can be, I'm going to wait till the end to fill you guys in on that. I mentioned that as well. This week's new releases was a little bit soundtrack heavy, and Jeff had mentioned earlier that the Dazed and Confused soundtrack was reissued. It is on purple translucent vinyl, and I hear it is a it's a cool soundtrack to begin with the likes of Derringer, Foghat, Cooper, Nugent, The Runaways, Sweet War, a lot of great classic rock bands on this as well. All right. So check that out. I think we've got one copy left, and hopefully we can get more of that as the next week rolls into. All right. I got this because I don't know why, but Hard Ticket to Hawaii soundtrack. It's got just like, I think it's everything from the movie. It's not songs. It's all orchestration and the like, but it's an Andy Sedaris film. If you're unfamiliar with Andy Sedaris as a filmmaker, think the 60s and 70s sexploitation films and move them into the cheesiness of the 80s with weird looking guns and just terrible acting. So this is a movie that is truly, as my family and friends would say, is rated J. So, but Hard Ticket to Hawaii, I picked this up because why not? I think it is on, I think it's on colored vinyl. I don't know for certain, but if you get a chance to look at some of these films, you can marvel at their innate badness, if you will. Also reissued, speaking of that, is something weird. These are the greatest hits from those 50s and 60s Bikini A Go-Go movies, and there's just some really wild stuff on this. We've had previous versions of this, but they have reissued this as well. It's the greatest hits. Are you ready to hear something weird? Take an auditory trip through the wacky world of oddball and obscure classic exploitation cinema soundtracks from the 60s and 70s. So yes, that is weird. I've listened to that before. Also reissued, and we'll just kind of hold these up together, a couple of 80s super classics, actually decent movies if you want to go that direction. Top Gun and Footloose. You feel the need for speed? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we've got those here, as well as this one recently reissued. It's an older performance of the symphonic suite from The Empire Strikes Back. So John Williams' name is attached to this, but he is neither conducting nor involved other than lending his name. This is a performance of the symphonic suite by the National Philharmonic Orchestra under the direction of Charles Gerhardt. It's John Williams' own adaptation of one of his iconic series. And I guess there's some liner notes by Ray Bradbury and in here as well. So it's a 180 gram vinyl pressing. Very cool artwork for you Star Wars fans. Which did you like better, Empire or Jedi? Dino Don says, hey, Dino Don in the house. Yes, indeed. Thanks. We still have a copy of Almost Famous. We got a reissue of Big Lebowski. We got a music on vinyl reissue of the Judgment Night soundtrack. Lots of cool stuff on there. And in the restocks and reissue department, I don't remember ordering this, but for you video game fans, we got another copy of the original score for Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are usually pretty popular to go. Now, other new releases from yesterday. Back on the record show Wednesday, Ken and I talked about this. This is the McCartney 3 Imagined. This was McCartney's album from December. And this is a version with all sorts of guest stars on here. Let me see if I can find a few. Beck is on here, not Jeff, but just Beck. Dominic Fike is on here. St. Vincent. Oh, Anderson, Damon, Erdis Elba remix. So Krongben is on here as well. So McCartney brought in a bunch of friends and they did a reimagining of his music from a surprisingly popular McCartney 3 from back in December. I'm hearing some good things about these remixes. Our friend Brett Mitchell had posted something about how the Beck version of I Find My Way with McCartney and Beck is just phenomenal. Another cool release from yesterday was the Cinderella reissue of Night Songs. They put this out on a purple and a red vinyl. Both the purple ones we had are gone. We've got a couple of red ones back. If you can live with the red, we got it. If not, we'll try to get more purple for next week as well. Another cool one, early Dolly Parton. This one is on pink vinyl. I think there's a couple of different couples there. Original 1959 recordings from Dolly Parton and 1963 Nashville sessions on there as well. So when we're talking early Dolly, we're talking early Dolly Parton. No word on the sound quality on that. I'll try to do a little more research. And in her ever-going quest to rule everything on the planet, we have Taylor Swift's reissue of Folklore on here as well. I believe this is on double gold vinyl. So check that out. Ashley is saying good morning, and good morning to you. A couple of things that I thought I mentioned last week, but other stuff that we didn't get in. We've got a Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes, a best of, new vinyl on that. And the Accept Too Mean to Die from a couple of months ago on Glow in the Dark vinyl. If you didn't get a chance, back up. Let me look at our time here. Back up and take a look at the record show from this week. We talked to Susie Quattro, a great entertainer and a great interview. So back that up and check it out on our Facebook and or our YouTube channel primarily and see the full interview. Actually, I've got two versions up there, the record show and then the full interview with Susie Quattro. So thanks again to her for joining us, and check that out further back on our YouTube channel if you'd like. Okay, announcement time. Here we go. So a year ago, we had purchased a tremendously large collection. Yep, in the middle of 2020's pandemic, I went out and I bought this huge record collection, 7,000 plus records, classic rock and psych rock, and we have been kind of feeding on that for the past year, and I still have a lot of that to go coming out. But one of the areas that we have always been kind of shy in getting, and it's hard to find, is the area of punk rock. Now, I come from the 80s, and yes, I had some involvement in punk as far as listening and playing it on the radio back then, but I gravitated toward more alternative. And not to say I didn't play some punk or I'm a fan of things like the Dead Milkmen or the Sex Pistols and the like. I am, but I don't know a lot about punk. But here's the deal, folks. This week, in fact, right after Record Store Day, we purchased a collection of punk vinyl. And not just any collection of punk vinyl. We purchased a beautiful, oh man, is it a beautiful collection of OG rare punk vinyl. Now, it's going to take me a while to get through it, but they're going to start trickling in the next week or so. And that's the way we're going to do it, is kind of put them in. Now, for those of you who are beginning to salivate a little bit saying, oh man, they're getting some punk. What is it? What is it? What is it? There's a lot of stuff in there, folks. And I also need to put this out there. Used vinyl has been skyrocketing. We do our best to keep prices down here, and you know that we price them accordingly when we get things like classic rock. But sometimes the cost is up there because of the condition or because of the rarity of it. So here's the deal. These punk vinyl originals, some of them are rare and some of them are going to get a bit pricey. The collection that we brought in this week represents a sizable investment on the part of our store. I knew what they were and I paid a lot for them. So there's going to be some high dollar stuff in there, just so you're aware. So be prepared for that. But there is so much cool stuff. All right. I had originally planned to show you one of the cool things that was in our drop video yesterday. And it was a box set of 8 7-inch 45s from The Clash, a Japanese pressing, beautiful condition, original picture sleeves, OBI strip, all the inserts, but it's gone. Somebody recognized that yesterday, and they snagged it very, very quickly off of our counter in this case. So there will be more of that to come. But what is there? Here's a tease of a couple of the things. Now, just so you know, and I don't know if Kim is watching right now, but I'm having a bit of a moral dilemma as far as how many of these are going to actually make it to the shelf. So here's a Black Flag damaged original pressing. We're going to have a little bit more on this in the record show coming up, but it's a very, very special pressing. Very, very rare. And then this one I'm really having some trouble with. It's the Minutemen double nickels on the dime. What a great album this is. And I'll tell you what, this one may not make it to the shelves. I'm sorry to say, but even so, when I say high-end collectibles, they're high-end collectibles. So you guys stay tuned. You know how we run things here. This cool punk stuff will be entering our shelves in the weeks to come. There may be a few in next Friday's drop video, but as we progress into August, you'll see more and more of them heading in with a great mix of our stuff every Friday. Speaking of that, is Overkill still available? No, Scott, sorry. Somebody snagged that yesterday, so we'll have to try to find more. So there you have it, folks. We've got our work cut out for us, keeping up with all of this cool vinyl. The punk stuff will come in. I do have some more metal and good hard rock incoming. That'll start working its way to the shelves as well. And as always, just kind of keep with us through the summer. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube. Make sure you hit that notifications bell, so the instant that we put up content on there, you'll know about it and you get the jump on everybody else who said, oh, I don't need to subscribe to that channel. I'll just watch them when I can. No, that's not how it works. Stuff is going very, very quickly here of late, and it will continue to do so, especially when I put out things like Joy Division or any number of, there's some Cure in there. There's a lot of Sonic Youth in there. Oh man. Okay, enough. I'm gonna go catalog some stuff. All right, you guys have a super week. Tyler, good morning. Have a great weekend to you as well. And yeah, Rick's gonna have to make the drive over for the punk. You betcha, sir. All right, you guys have a great weekend. We are at 716 George Street, just north of downtown Midland. Come see us. We're open today, right now. In fact, I've got to unlock the door in case somebody's sitting out there. We'll be right there. From now until 6 p.m., open Sunday, tomorrow, 12 noon until 5, off on Monday and Tuesday, yada, 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 yada. You guys know the drill. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you guys next time from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks again.